2023. Thank you for tuning in to your number one station for news and updates. I'm your presenter Abdurrahman Yusuf, and this is what we prepared for you from our desk here in Mogadishu, Somalia. Father kills daughter over jealousy. The Mira debacle in Somalia. Cleric meeting in Somalia enters second day. 3 wounded in motor attack near Somali presidential palace. That was our headlines, and now as we delve into our stories. The Somali police have revealed that they've arrested a father who is accused of killing his 6-year-old daughter on January 14, 2023. A heart-rending story. Here's a full story. Handed at Heliwa district, Banadi region after evading security forces for nearly 2 weeks. Hussein is said to have killed his daughter because of jealousy over his wife. The accused also physically assaulted his wife.
saddex talaaqana aan kugu furan naagna kuma furantay igu noqo mukugu naqanay wax noo yaalana malahan walaalo amaan isi islaamka nabi maxamed daa sheegto awlaadana masuul ilaahay iiga dhigon aabahood joogin wuxuu yiri hadaadan igu naqanayn gabartan waa dila adigana waa ku dila kuguma naqanay ilaahay wax dile ilaahay shartaada ha imootiyaan intaas isugu keen war dambeys akhiirana gacantiisa igu baxdaan in ilaahay iga badbaadiyo haddana xaafadana aan uga qaxnay.
The Somali police force has recently increased its operation in the districts of Mogadishu in pursuit of groups that commit acts related to killing and robbing the public. The soldiers also assure the public that the law breakers will face full wrath of the law. Gone are the days where one will commit an atrocity and go scot-free. Federal government MP Mohamed Maalimo of Somalia's bicameral parliament has congratulated the Somali National Army for their recent victories against Al-Shabaab. The parliamentarian, however, urged the army leaders to refrain their soldiers from using cut while on duty amidst the recent calculated attacks by the militants at dawn. Here is a full story.
Have been making a tangible progress, and we're capturing significant places from Al-Shabaab in central Somalia. But my worry is that after the Somali National Army secure or capture from a place or town from terrorist groups Al-Shabaab. Actually, what was happening was that militants were trying to attack, to counter-attack, and particularly in the dawn, in the last part of the night, and were causing sometimes heavy casualties. So we would like to recommend to our Somali troops that they do 2 things. Really, I'm not a military expert, but I was a journalist who was working on the front lines for a long time. First, I would like to, the commanders should not allow at all that they use Mira or cut, particularly soldiers, when they are in service, because sometimes it might cause that they lost their efficiency or they lost their vigilance, so it might cause a problem to them. And the second thing is that sometimes we have to know the nature of the enemy that we are fighting with. They are mobile teams, they are mobile terrorists, and so the soldiers should have to change from one place to another place. For instance, if they stay one place in the evening, they should change in the dawn, in the last part of the night. So that's actually what they do, and if that is done, actually, I believe that heavy loss will be caused against Al-Shabaab, and Somalia will be free from Al-Shabaab.
The former government spokesperson pointed out that the attacks are a result of soldiers chewing cud all night long, rendering them ineffective in the wee hours of the morning. At least 5 top commanders leading the ongoing anti-Al-Shabaab offensive to liberate Galmudug and Hirshabelle were killed in 2 weeks in separate attacks in Mogadishu, Halgan, Hilowlegab, Hawadley, and Galad. The senior officers include Mohammed Mu'min El-Misani, who was killed in Mogadishu, Colonel Abdishir Mohammed Mohammed Shagatain, who was killed in Hawadley in the Hiran region, Omar Yariso, who was killed in the lower Shabelle region, Jamal Ahmed Jama, who was killed in Hiran's Halgan district, and Deputy Commander of the 16th Dana Brigade Major Hassan Osman Toure, who was killed on Friday in Galad. Muallimu's remarks come after the Kenya government recently doubled its miraa export to Somalia in the past few days. The historic Somali Religious Scholars Conference is underway for the second day in Mogadishu. The conference has brought together reputable scholars from within and outside the country to counter the fraudulent extremist ideology of the Al-Shabaab militants. Scholar Sheikh Bashir Ahmed remarked that the meeting will elucidate the public about ongoing war between militants and the federal government of Somalia.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله صلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وما سنتهي شركة روح كسو هذا مرحلة حساسية أصلنا هاي وضلكوا كتيرو عن دجال لقوا حريون يوم كاس خوارجتها marka shirarka hore runtii muhiim bay ahaayeen laakiin midkaani wixii culimada ku baaqi jireen iyo fikradii culimada iyo aragtidii culimada oo xoogaa laga jawaabay oo camali ahaan loo gudbay oo shaqadii ay socoto ayuu ku soo aadayaa marka shirkaani waa shir ku soo aaday bala oran karaa xaalad dagaal oo dalku u galay.
President Mohamud opened the conference with a remembrance of the events of January 23, 1975, when the government of President Siad Barre executed 10 religious clerics in Somalia for protesting against a newly enacted family law. The head of state opined that the religious clerics are instrumental in his plans to defeat the militant insurgency group Al-Shabaab, which he labeled as Khawarij, an Arabic term used to describe religious deviants. President Mohamud said that the government will establish a Somali Scholars Association, which will be a conduit for government to Islamic leaders. The conference comes as Somalia's federal government has waged a military offensive against Al-Shabaab, successfully ousting the group from most population centers in Hirshabelle. However, Al-Shabaab has retaliated with several attacks against the military and civilian targets in Mogadishu and some of the recently lost territory. At least 2 students and a woman were wounded in a motor attack near the presidential Somali palace in Mogadishu on Tuesday. According to eyewitness, 6 mortar shells were fired towards the palace. 1 mortar hit inside the presidential palace and others landed near the SYL Hotel, the Ministry of Information, and ex-Fiore village. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack, but the Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab terror group has claimed responsibility for recent attacks in Somalia. Since the government-led operation began in the summer, the group has increased its attack in major cities, including the capital. The group attacked the compound housing Mogadishu's mayor office and other local government facilities, killing 5 civilians on Sunday. The Somali government said the Al-Shabaab attackers arrived at the compound on foot, masquerading as government soldiers. The attack started with an explosion, followed by gunmen storming the building. That's all we had prepared for you today from our desk here in Mogadishu. I'm Abdurrahman Yusuf, telling you have yourselves a blessed night.